Hey, what's up, everyone? We are officially back. So, I'm going to be trying something a little different. You're going to be hearing me pop in throughout the stories from now on. Don't worry, though, your favorite narrator is still here doing their thing. Let me know what you guys think. All right, let's get into this one.
My nephew knocked my son unconscious at a family barbecue. I knocked his father down right next to him. My brother Dwight had been raising his son Keller without consequences since the day he was born. Keller was 16 years old and built like a refrigerator. He had been wrestling competitively since he was 7 and had won state championships 3 years in a row. Everyone in the family knew Keller was talented. Everyone also knew Keller was mean. He used his size and strength to intimidate anyone smaller than him. At family gatherings, he would corner younger cousins and pin them down until they cried. He would take food off other kids' plates because he knew nobody would stop him. He would make comments about other kids being weak and pathetic while his parents smiled proudly at their strong, athletic son. My son Eli was 12 and small for his age. He loved reading and building model airplanes and had never been in a fight in his life. He was quiet and gentle and avoided Keller whenever possible. Keller noticed this and decided it made Eli a perfect target. The bullying had been going on for about 2 years. Every time we visited Dwight's house or met at my parents' place, Keller would find ways to torment Eli. He would shove him into walls when no adults were looking. He would trip him and laugh when he fell. He would whisper threats about what he would do if Eli ever told anyone. Eli begged me not to say anything because he was afraid it would make things worse. I talked to Dwight about it once. I told him Keller was being rough with Eli and it needed to stop. Dwight waved his hand and said boys would be boys. He said Keller was just playing around. He said Eli needed to toughen up and stop being so sensitive. He said maybe if Eli did some sports instead of reading all day, he wouldn't be such an easy target. His wife Corinne nodded along and said Keller didn't mean any harm. She said he was just being competitive. She said I was overreacting to normal kid behavior. I stopped bringing it up because clearly they didn't care. I just tried to keep Eli away from Keller as much as possible. Then came the summer barbecue at my parents' house. The whole family was there, including aunts and uncles and cousins we only saw once a year. Dwight showed up bragging about Keller's latest wrestling tournament. He said college scouts were already watching. He said full scholarships were basically guaranteed. He said Keller was going to be the first Division I athlete in the family. He was insufferable, but I ignored him because I had learned long ago that engaging with Dwight only made things worse. I kept my eye on Eli and made sure he stayed near the adults. For the first hour, everything was fine. Then I went inside to use the bathroom. I was gone for maybe 3 minutes. When I came back outside, I heard screaming from the side of the house. I ran toward the sound and found Eli on the ground unconscious. His nose was bleeding and his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Keller was standing over him shaking out his fist like he had just thrown a punch. Several younger kids were crying and pointing at Keller. One of them was yelling that Keller hit Eli in the face for no reason. I dropped to my knees next to my son. His face was pale and his breathing was shallow. I called his name, but he didn't respond. Someone behind me was calling for an ambulance. I held Eli's head and tried to wake him up, but he was completely out. My boy. My gentle, quiet boy who never hurt anyone. Lying on the ground because a 16-year-old monster decided to use him as a punching bag. Dwight came jogging over asking what happened. Keller immediately started talking. He said Eli started it. He said Eli called him a name. He said he was just defending himself. He said Eli swung first and he had no choice. I looked at the crying children standing nearby. I asked them what really happened.